Good evening. Welcome to the McKelvey Engineering Awards ceremony. For those of you who've been somewhere, I'm Aaron Bobbick. I'm the Dean of McKelvey Engineering, and I'm just thrilled to be here. It's great to see so many members of the Washington University and McKelvey Engineering communities in attendance and joining us. And we have a live stream. I hear that there's like 8 or 9 million people viewing on. But in particular, I know that some of the families of some of our honorees are watching live. So glad that you can join us as well. So really a special welcome to the families, friends, mentors, colleagues, and folks who are just here to support our distinguished honorees. I'd also like to recognize a couple of other special folks. First of all, tomorrow morning we have the McKelvey National Council meeting, and many of our McKelvey National Council members are here tonight. And they provide support to me and to the school in a variety of ways of tangible support and also just tremendous dedication and advocacy. So actually, could I ask our National Council members to stand up and we could all thank you for being here? That's great. We're also tonight, we've got a special guests joining us. Sitting way in the back is our distinguished, the Spencer T. Olin Professor Emeritus of Biology and Dean Emeritus of McKelvey Engineering, who most of you know better simply as Ralph Quattrano. And so Ralph and Leanne, thank you for your service. I told Ralph he didn't have to stand up, but he wanted to show you. So there you go. That's great. Another group, folks who couldn't be here with us tonight, but I believe some of them are online. A couple of weeks ago, we recognized, and I think of these as Alumni Award future folks. We have our Emerging Leaders Awards. And these are folks who've been out a shorter time. Who have been really making a positive impact on their community, their country, the world in a variety of ways. Some of them through sort of think of as straight engineering, others in very different ways. In fact, I want to briefly recognize and congratulate, and then you'll join me in applauding as well. So Frank Berg, Craig Gordon, Kate Nevin, and Fiona Turrett, they were our 2023 Emerging Leader Awards. I know, like I said, they couldn't join us. I don't know if they're amongst the several million people viewing online, but please join me in congratulating them from all of us. All right. To our awards presentation for the evening. So tonight, we're going to introduce to you our Alumni Achievement Award honorees, the Engineering Entrepreneurship Award honoree. And we also have the delight of sharing the presentation of the 2023, it's a 22, I typo, Dean's Award. We're not taking away the one from last year, it's okay. These distinguished awards recognize our engineering alumni and friends who've contributed significantly in so many ways, both through their careers and their fields, and really upholding the standards that engineering at WashU really tries to adhere to and aspire to. At McKelvey Engineering, we work to try to solve some of society's greatest problems, both through sort of fundamental research that has payoff in the future and more immediate applied work that's targeting problems of the day. We also focus on preparing students to become leaders. One of the things I really enjoyed in the Emerging Leaders Award was seeing people taking the education that they received and figuring out how they could lead to make a difference in particular ways. Many of them have become economic catalysts, some for the St. Louis region, some for beyond, and contributing to the economic growth of our region, our state, our country, and in fact, the world. This year's honorees, all of you are making a difference. And we benefit, we the school, Their outstanding achievements are really a key source of our reputation as a premier school of learning, of discovery, and of service to society. They've made their mark in a variety of fields, achieved success as engineers applying their skills in fields as education, healthcare, structural engineering, venture capital, real estate, and sustainability. They're addressing major challenges facing our world, and their accomplishments are a testament to our legacy and service to society, which makes them, in turn, outstanding role models for our engineering students. I will tell you that every year when we try to think about to whom should we give these awards, there's actually a pretty simple test, and that is, can I introduce you to the incoming class of students and have people say, wow, I can be like her, I can be like him. And that notion of WashU engineering empowering people to be like that, that's really what this is all about. And all of you really embody the aspirations for the school. I will say, in addition to achieving great things after their time at WashU, our honorees are exceptional in many other ways. They've contributed to the school, to their alma mater, through scholarship support, mentorship with students, and just expertise connecting with our faculty. Michelle Liebman talks about time, talent, and treasure. And there are so many different ways that you can give back to the school. And our honorees today have done that in all these different ways. So thank you all for your interests and your dedication. And we'll extend individually our gratitude, but I just want to do it to you as an entire group. So let's begin the award ceremony itself. The McKelvey Engineering Award honorees innovate and collaborate in a variety of environments and invest in opportunities that strengthen their personal, professional, and civic responsibilities. And they help us gain deeper understandings of industry and build deeper connections. And these are the reasons that we're honoring them today. Audi, Mariah, it's Weyland or Weyland? Weyland, okay. Weyland Gratz. Craig Kaufman I know how to pronounce. Schiermeier? It's what? Andrew, yes. There's always a comedian, and it's never me. Parag, Mallick, and Jan, Avent, and Dave Rossetti all have really exhibited this devotion to excellence, and they represent WashU's commitment to preparing leaders and being leaders. So our first honoree tonight is Audi. And he's been doing structural engineering for over 35 years. He is a committed partner at a St. Louis firm, Alper Audi. In fact, I think I saw Mark Alper here earlier. Mark, where are you? There he is, very good. And they've provided some amazing career development over the years for several McKelvey engineering graduates. Alper Audi has been involved with many prestigious construction projects, including on the Danforth campus as structural engineers for the Henry A. and Elvira H. Jubal Hall, right over here, and the John M. Olin Library. Andre is an Elliott Society patron member, supports the Alper Audi Scholarship, and serves as a member of the Alumni Advisory Board. It says video play. Oh, you got to hit it.
Engineering and construction in general is in my family. My dad owned a lumber business. I grew up with the construction idea and I've always liked it. So civil engineering was a natural degree for me to get me into that field. In my first semester in the US, when I came from Lebanon, I went to Sacramento, California. I contacted friends of mine who went to WashU, and I did my research about WashU, and I was convinced by my friends that it was a good match. I'm glad I came in here. I had a couple of mentors at the university level. All my professors were really great people, but in particular, Kevin Truman was an exceptional professor. He was very organized in his thoughts and teaching. On my personal life, my dad was my mentor. I learned a lot from him about treating people, especially his employees, respect and integrity. So even though we lived thousands of miles away, he was the person I turned to for guidance. Alper Audi is a small firm, but we do a large amount of big buildings. We work in all 48 contiguous states. The history of the company is family owned, and we still run it in the same way after all these years with the same care of the people and support for each other. We are very well known for our quality work, responsiveness, and that is all due to the great staff that we have. And we have repetitive clients that have been our clients for many years, and that is testimony to the quality of what we do. And that's my biggest source of pride. Of course, it doesn't hurt to go around the nation saying, we did that building, we did that one. Well, Alper Audi established a scholarship because we believe in helping and giving back to the university whenever we can or however we can. In St. Louis, for St. Louis, means a Washington University has provided graduates who have built corporations and have created jobs in St. Louis and have contributed to the community in many other ways. We as graduates would like to get involved and stay involved in this dynamic relationship with the community. Receiving the Alumni Achievement Award is a great honor for me, coming from an institution as well respected as Washington University. And to me, that enticed me to get more engaged with the university and to help other students and the community that Washington University have served for so many years successfully. I'd like to thank my family for supporting me, and I'd like to thank my partners and all the employees of Alper Audi who made this a successful company, without whom I couldn't really achieve what we are today.
Andre, thank you for your contribution to your industry, to your region, to the school, to everything. Congratulations on your Alumni Achievement Award.
Thank you.
I have to wear that for the next 36 hours.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dean Babik. Such an honor for me to receive this award from such a prestigious institution that I called home for 4 years. Over the years, I have seen WashU go from good to great to excellent, and the momentum is very strong. A bright future for McKelvey School of Engineering. I'd like to thank my wife, my family for their support, Mark Alper, our Emeritus Principal, with whom I've worked for 35 years, and I consider him to be like a brother to me. And my business partners, 4 of them, 3 of whom are WashU graduates, and the 4th one, we taught him what he needs to know. He's like a, he's like a pseudo WashU now. But thank you again. Thank you.
Great. I'm glad you were able to backfill the deficit in his education. Combining her passion for innovation and strong leadership skills, Mariah Weyland Gratz has led Weyland Ventures to more than double in size and scope as its chief executive officer. Mariah's flexible approach to development and her desire to create concepts has allowed her to lead a cross-functional development team in the planning, design, and construction of urban real estate. Mariah has received many honors for outstanding management, including being recognized as an influential business leader from Louisville Business.
medical engineering came up in a book that my guidance counselor in high school gave to me. And that just really seemed to really marry my natural aptitude for math and science along with my interest in the medical field. And then ultimately WashU was the best option for me. Some of the lessons I learned in the classroom and at WashU included our senior design project, where we really worked hand in hand with 3 or 4 students and 2 professors. Professor Jenin was instrumental in that, and it actually tied back into my soccer playing in that we were looking at subconcussive impacts to the brain and how that affected soccer players. So there were 2 organizations that stand out most as being important to me at WashU. One was the Catholic Student Center. That community was just very supportive. Another experience that I had was with leadership program that I was selected for the summer after my freshman year, and was very important to me as far as starting to solidify leadership skills as I moved forward in my academic and ultimately professional career. One opportunity that presented itself at WashU that then very much impacted my future career was the opportunity to co-op during my junior year. I co-opted in Boston for a company called Abiomed. I started as a systems engineer, which was actually a new position they created for me. I was made a program manager at Abiomed at the age of, I think, 25, and I was the only female technical manager in the company at that point. I ended up coming back to Louisville in order to work for Weyland Ventures. Weyland Ventures is a multidisciplinary real estate development, asset, property, and hospitality management company. And our focus has really been on urban redevelopment. So we like to go into an area that hasn't been invested in 20 plus years and figure out how to revitalize that through a phased development strategy. The Women in Engineering Center at WashU is a great new asset to being a female engineer on campus that was not available when I was at WashU. I was honored to be the keynote speaker at the inaugural Women in Engineering Summit a few years ago, and just the energy in the room around, having more female professors, having more female students was huge from a support perspective. As a woman in engineering and in real estate development, I have been able to succeed in those sectors. I've never changed who I am or the way I deal with people. I've always been myself. I'm extremely honored to be one of the honorees for the Alumni Achievement Award this year. As part of this honor, I would love to thank my parents. The other person I really need to thank is my husband, Eric. He's always been very supportive. I couldn't be successful without having that support network.
Mariah, thank you for your dedication to us, to sport. I'd forgotten that in the video she mentioned the Women in Engineering Leadership Summit. That was actually a very powerful event. It really led to development. I'm thrilled to say that through encouragement of folks like Mariah, and in fact, I think I saw Jan Holloway here. Jan's over here, provided support. We now have a formal Women in Engineering Center with a new formal center director, working hard to make sure that essentially we graduate more people like Mariah. So Mariah, congratulations, come on up.
Good evening. Thank you all for being here tonight. I would really like to, I am honored and humbled by this award. Thank you so much to the McKelvey School of Engineering for thinking of me, for receiving this award. I know what the amazing things my fellow alumni are doing out in the world today, and to be selected for this is truly humbling for me. I would like to thank my parents who are here for believing in me and teaching me to believe in myself. Also, my father is the founder of our company. It was his vision that started the company, and his vision that brought me back to Louisville to work with him. So it's been great to take that company to a new level and to work with him on a day-to-day basis. I also need to thank my husband. I'm not easy to live with on a day-to-day basis sometimes as a CEO, but he has always supported me and loved me in everything that we've done. And then my children are here today, and I need to thank them for keeping me grounded. It is not easy to have a mommy who is a CEO sometimes. I drag them to things like this. But I think it's really important for kids. If kids can see something, then they can be it. And so I always want to give them that opportunity to see what fantastic opportunities life can hold for them. So thank you all very much.
Thank you. Our next honoree, Craig Kaufman, has over 30 years of experience in real estate investing, finance, development, and management. He founded Kaufman Capital Partners in 1994, leading the company's involvement in the direct investment, acquisition, and development of more than 40 commercial properties. Craig has remained highly involved with the community, as well as with WashU, as a member of the Alumni Board of Governors and the chair of the Atlanta Regional Cabinet. His expertise, guidance, support, and pure advocacy is steadfast and valued. All right, so I'm going to click because
my name is Craig Kaufman, President of Kaufman Capital Partners, a real estate investment and development focused business. We find strategies to create value in real estate. Now we're focusing on master planning and helping municipalities create city center. We're working on entitlement projects and multifamily and mixed use projects. I've always been interested in the built environment. I had for years thought I wanted to become an architect. I ended up leaning more towards engineering, and I was looking for a school that had both, that I could take classes in different disciplines. What I really learned at WashU is how to work with others. Being a team player and being able to offer something in the business that I'm in, of real estate investment and development, it's not just about me. And we create value and execute on our strategies. And almost everything is in some kind of team format. But I'm perhaps most proud of when I've been able to really step back and recognize changes or concerns in the external world and have pivoted strategies. The decisions to kind of face sometimes the fear of the unknown, the making a big decision and seeing it through. I was really fortunate to be part of a fraternity, and through that I met a group of guys who were a year or two older and way more mature. What I realized is there were those who came before me who kind of set the path, who created a framework, who now allowed me the opportunity to really benefit from their hard work. WashU gave me a gift. I got the gift of grad school. When I was a senior, I was evaluating different options. There are very few programs around the country in real estate development. I remember going to a professor of mine, asking him what he thought about that. He said something like, "Why don't we do it here?" So he challenged me to put together a curriculum. WashU basically paid my way, as well as giving me a teaching assistantship. And with regard to scholarship, it was ingrained in me that education is something that can't be taken away from you. I value education, and I would like to help, even if it's in a small way, to make educational more reachable for those that don't have the financial wherewithal. It's a great honor because WashU is a world-renowned school. It has an incredible alumni base, and so I feel very honored to be a McKelvey Engineering Alumni Award recipient. I just want to thank my wife and kids for being good sports, as my wife would say, do extracurricular activities, in the community. I've enjoyed watching WashU grow and glad to still be a part of it.
Craig, congratulations. Come on up.
Wow. Thank you, Dean Bobick. I think back to when I started at WashU a long time ago, probably one of the least likely people to be getting such an award. I was a hot mess, very insecure about life. And what WashU did is provide me the opportunity through the people I met to kind of really understand and kind of figure out life away from home, a family away from home. And I'm grateful and indebted to WashU. I want to thank, looking at my wife, Hope, and Drew and Max, my sons, whose pictures you saw, who are ninth graders now, and to me they are the future and I'm the past, and they give me inspiration and the reason to give back to the community. To my SIGEP friends here, who are currently undergrads, who I've been advising, as well as mentoring, as well as those who I got to know during my formative years in college. And what I want to say to the students here is, you can do it. You just need to decide what it is. And along the way, when you're deciding what it is, remember to give back. Because whatever it is that you do, you can give back time, talent, treasure. Figure out what your passion is and go for it. Thank you.
Our next honoree, Andrew Schiermeier. Andrew has an impressive record in the biotech and pharmaceutical sectors, spanning over 20 years. Has a passion for oncology, immunology, gene editing, cell therapy, and all applied to global health. Andrew's experiences include managing operations for startups and directing strategic expansion of global brands in these sectors. In his current role as president and chief executive officer at AvenCell, Andrew leads the team to create the world's best and most advanced engineered cell therapies and make them accessible to the patients who need them. Andrew's academic excellence allowed him the opportunity to be a Woodward Scholar while at WashU, and he continues to support our programs in many ways.
I decided to attend Washington University based on a couple of factors. First of all, my parents are originally from the St. Louis area, and I also have an older brother who attended WashU. I knew I wanted to do engineering, and so I applied to several very good engineering schools, and when WashU accepted me, I felt like it was the right fit. I come from a very modest family in St. Louis. And back then, what I recall was you needed to study hard and use education to lift yourself up, and you needed to get a good job so that you could put food on the table. I really love working with my hands. I really love making things and constructing things. And I think when I was in high school and I took my first physics class, that kind of sealed the deal. I remember walking around thinking, well, I know how that works now, and I know the rules and the equations that govern those motions. And so for me, mechanical engineering was a natural fit because I knew that I liked creating. For me, being a Woodward Scholar was certainly a ticket to be able to attend the university, and I think it made me really appreciate being there because I knew that somehow, some way, part of this was being paid for on my behalf, and I felt like there was a responsibility to do as well as I could based on that. I'm the CEO of a company called AvenCell, Therapeutics. Now, our mission is to create the world's best cell therapies. What we're literally doing is taking patients' immune cells from their body, and we re-engineer those immune cells so that they go and can recognize cancer cells. And it may come as a surprise or a shock to people that I have a degree in mechanical engineering, but now I spend all of my time in biotech. It's a very natural transition because when I was at the McKelvey School of Engineering, the engineering school gave me the foundation, the real basics about how to think about problems, how to think logically, how to rule out variables one at a time, and how to actually construct. I think the McKelvey School of Engineering really set me up for success in this particular field. I hope that the recognition allows me to have a little bit more visibility into what's going on currently at the school. I've really enjoyed over the last few years being able to reconnect in a little bit more meaningful way with both the programs and the students who are there, and I'd like to continue that. I think that there's some really interesting things that we can do together. There's a huge number of people that I would like to thank for getting me here in terms of what I've been able to accomplish in my career and life. First of all, of course, it's my professors and my undergraduate and graduate experience. I'd like to thank my lovely wife, Marie Cecile, who's been with me on this journey for the whole duration as well. Couldn't have done it without her. So thank you all very much, and thanks to the McKelvey School of Engineering. Thank you, Dean Bobick, and special shout out to Paula and Allie, with whose help I literally would not be here. They're the two folks that are choreographing, along with others, much of what you see today, and I am not the best responder to email and text and so forth, so thank you. Obviously, yes. Obviously, you know, thanks to my family, of course, that I acknowledged in the video as well. I certainly wouldn't be here if it weren't for the help of a lot of people along the way. And I really want to call out and recognize Jim and Joan Sheely, who are here in the audience tonight. Jim and Joan were really influential in my growth as a 17-year-old undergraduate kid and helped me out all the way back then. And they're here tonight, so thank you, Jim and Joan. Also, though I'm sure it's going to embarrass him a little bit, I want to thank Professor Guy Jenin, a person I know as Guy because I went to grad school with him at Harvard, and it turns out that he's now a professor here at WashU. And without making his head too large, Guy has been really instrumental in getting me very engaged and excited about re-engaging with WashU again over the last several years. So thank you, Guy, for all of that and all your incredible optimism. And yeah, if you clap too much, I'm going to have to deal with the after effects. So, and finally, the only thing that I would say, just you know, I know that there's a phrase: "A society is great when its elders and its people plant trees, the shade of which they may never actually get to enjoy." And I think that's a wonderful metaphor. I know that, like I said, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the involvement and the engagement of people who helped me out when I was a young man. And this afternoon I had a great opportunity to meet with some of the scholars of the engineering school, and I feel really the same way, which is there's just so many bright people, and it's easy to get stuck in the pessimism of the politics of today, but we have lots of wonderful, bright people who are doing wonderful, great things, and I look forward to encouraging and helping them any way I can, and I hope we all do too. Thank you.
Before we move on, I will say you saw lots of pictures of Jubal Hall, and you talked about moving from being a mechanical engineer to being, you know, in the biomedical space. Well, so Jubal Hall is right over here. If you go upstairs on the 3rd floor, there's a bridge over to Whitaker, and that's because of the tight connection in biomaterials between biomedical engineering and mechanical engineering. And of course, the Whitaker building that you're in now is connected right next to the Energy, Environment, and Chemical Engineering connected. And now that we finally built McKelvey Hall, computer science is right. So all of our faculty are within a cup of coffee walk from each other. And it actually makes quite a difference at WashU compared to, say, other schools where it's just harder to build those bridges. And I think what you're hearing tonight is it's sort of always been in our DNA, and now I'm glad to say it's in our floor plan. And so it's great. All right, so moving to a slightly different approach. Tonight, we're honoring Parag Mallick as our Engineer Entrepreneurship Award. which recognizes alumni entrepreneurs who advance innovative approaches and enable novel ideas for products, inventions, and technologies that are relevant to the economy now and in the future. This year, we celebrate Parag Mallick as the ambitious and visionary who has achieved really remarkable entrepreneurial success. I had the pleasure of visiting Parag, I don't know, the first time was a couple of years ago, and he explained what he was doing, and I was thinking to myself, man, I should have done that. Because, you know, he was, except that I don't know the stuff he knows. His ability to take the approach to understanding the fundamentals of computing, understanding the fundamentals of engineering and science, and understanding the nature of the problems that are fundamentally important in advancing a variety of medical applications presented itself to him in a way that enabled him to see the path. He founded Nautilus Biotechnology with a vision to enable advances really across human health and medicine through essentially machine learning applied to proteomics. And if you ask him, he'll explain it all to you way better than I can. Outside of his his scientific interests, he's a professional magician, which is always important with venture capitalists, and variety performer whose adventures in circus and magic have taken him actually all over the world.
When I went to visit WashU, I saw a place that was so special, where the students were incredibly smart, but they were also kind and thoughtful. I knew coming in that I wanted to be at this intersection of computing and biochemistry. And so talking to my advisors at the School of Engineering, they were incredibly supportive. They essentially created a boutique program for me. I moved up to Stanford about 10 years ago and started a lab in what's called the Canary Center for Cancer Early Detection. My lab focuses on trying to understand what changes in cancers in their earliest stages. How do they transition from being just normal cells to being cancer? When you see the incredible range of technologies that are out there, the tools that we had were not on parity with the tools we had for measuring the genome. That's what led to my entrepreneurial journey, was recognizing that there was a need. I spent years trying to improve the instruments we had, trying to improve the software to analyze and interpret that data. I took a step back, just knew that I needed some space to think. I woke up the weekend after. All of those crazy thoughts coalesced finally into a picture of a way that you could actually maybe, for the first time, measure the whole proteome in a way that would make protein analysis in parity with genomic analysis. I reached out to Sujal Patel, and I had been a customer of his previous company, and that allowed us to build this just incredibly strong relationship. At the end of that conversation, I left with a partner, a co-founder, a CEO, and a first check. And that was really the birth of Nautilus Biotechnology. One of my close friends, he used to juggle with Renaissance fairs. He first taught me. We started a juggling club at WashU called Students Against Gravity. I was studying organic chemistry and I was juggling over my textbook. After leaving WashU, I went to a graduate program at UCLA and I was working to study proteins computationally. Those experiences really shaped the way that I look at the world, bringing together this hybrid world of experimental biology, high throughput biology, and computing together. I didn't expect to receive an entrepreneurship award. I have always just thought of myself as a person who tries to make the world a better place. I've asked for my Elliott Society contributions to go towards WashU's broader mission of helping underserved communities and underserved students. I'd like to thank my mom and my sister. My sister is why I'm studying what I'm studying. My wife, Christina, I'm so grateful for her support. I'd also like to thank my co-founder, Sujal. What an amazing partner. The whole Nautilus Biotechnology team. This is an incredible group of scientists and engineers and more. I also want to thank McKelvey Engineering. Just how much being a member of the School of Engineering changed who I am and changed my life.
Parag, congratulations.
Well, this is incredible. Thank you for the accent. First off, I'd really like to thank Dean Bobick for both thinking of me for this award and also for being so invested in what students do after they leave WashU. Coming and viewing, being part of our journey, and seeing Nautilus and getting to touch the equipment in its very earliest stages and giving me advice on signal processing along the way, which is fantastic. I'd really like to particularly thank my mom, who's here tonight. My mom was one of the very first women in engineering. And you can imagine being a woman in engineering in the 50s, how hard that must have been to be the only woman in your class. And all of my engineering instincts and foundations come from her. And also that fundamental belief that you can do anything, that you set your mind to. That very much was something that she shared with me very early on, and I've kept with me to this day. And I think my journey at WashU really gave me the tools, and it gave me the belief, and helped me imagine what the world might be. And that's really the root of entrepreneurship, is starting with a vision for what you believe could exist in the world, and then going about making it happen. And I'm so grateful for WashU for helping me on that path. And on that path, I also just want to thank my sister. My mom is an engineer, my sister is a doctor and a biologist, and I ended up somewhere halfway in the middle. And also my wife, Christina, who you don't get to this place, you don't build something substantial without a community around you, and without the tremendous support of Christina, all the late nights, all of the very, very early mornings, the frustrating times, the great times, and being with me for all of that. So thank you all very much.
For our final honor this evening, it's my privilege, actually my honor, to present the McKelvey Engineering's Dean's Award to Jan Avent and Dave Rossetti. The Dean's Award recognizes leadership, service, and loyalty to the university, to the school, and not just for a little while, but over a tremendous course of time. And they represent that tremendously. Along with robust and important careers, Dave and Jan have generously created scholarships to ensure that a Washington University education is possible for as many students as we can reach. Their dedication to the Langsdorff Scholars Program and to their New Mexico community allows others to join a network of leaders and innovators committed to enhancing their quality of life through achieving an education here at WashU. Dave, Jan, you have transformed the lives. I mean, it absolutely transforms the lives of learners, educators, and communities through the power of accessible education, the technology, and the career opportunities that our students are able to pursue upon graduation. So thank you both for your support of Washington University and for your investment in our students. Amongst the various awards that McKelvey Engineering offers every year, the most prestigious is the Dean's Award. The Dean's Award is given to those who've shown really a lifetime of support and dedication to the school, in many ways helping us achieve our mission of research and education. No one reflects this support more deeply than Dave and Jan. They've been connected to the school and supported the school, frankly, for several decades.
There was never any doubt in my mind that I always wanted to do computing. And I will say that WashU had one of the earliest undergraduate computer science programs, and so it made a lot of sense for me to kind of dive into that and to see that, you know, I could get a good computing education from a place like Washington U. It allowed me to parachute in to a place like Cisco, which was highly specialized, highly competitive, It felt like going into freshman year all over again. I bought all of the textbooks, I read all of the textbooks. I worked very hard for my first year to learn all of the stuff, to gain credibility with the team that I was managing, and to start making a difference, keeping one leg in technology and being a computer scientist, and the other leg managing people and enabling people to do a good job.
As a young child, I grew up in a family and in a very small town where you gave back. You did what you could to help others. And the field of speech-language pathology was perfect for me. So I ended up in this PhD program in Santa Barbara and UC San Francisco. So people who came to our clinic on campus received 8 hours of therapy a week. That's unheard of. It was innovative at the time, and I think it would be hard to find it today, that level of intensity.
Dave and Jan have supported our students through a variety of mechanisms. There's the Rossetti and Avent Langsdorff Endowed Scholarship, which is used to help support the existing Langsdorff community. There's the New Mexico Student Endowed Scholarship, which is targeting students coming from New Mexico to be undergraduates at Washington University. Dave and Jan also provide an annual gift. They've supported the Langsdorff Enrichment Fund, which provides resources by which we can support the programming that Langsdorffs participate in, along with other student activities that really align co-curricularly with their education.
When we retired from living in the Bay Area, we moved to New Mexico, to Santa Fe, and we firmly believe you give back to the community where you live. And it just seemed like a no-brainer to float the idea out that here we have a state and here's this wonderful university. Why not give students there the opportunity that Dave had? So when it comes to our philanthropy, I think the best way to think about it is that we're trying to fill a need and partner with organizations who can fill that need.
Another key piece of the philanthropy that Jan and I find important is to be involved, gain the context, swim in the water, so to speak, of the decisions being made so that you can help where it really matters and you can be more relevant, and frankly, we can be wiser.
You do what you do because you know it's the right thing to do and to help people. And to be recognized for it is nice, and it's really nice if it encourages others to do more. So it's an honor, it's appreciated.
I'm honored and I am pleased to be able to do whatever we can to give back, to support a fantastic engineering school.
Dave, Jan, on behalf of all of us here at McKelvey Engineering, we just want to say thank you and congratulations. Cannot imagine people more deserving of this award, of folks who are just really focused on our success and can inspire others to do so as well. Dave and Jan, we so appreciate you. Please come on up.
So I look out and see a lot of supporters and friends. One of you said, Dave's people. No, I don't think about it that way, but thank you all for coming. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you, Jan, for being a great partner in this quest. And I'll say three things as my little guiding principles that I hope I can share with you. Get engaged, stay curious, and give back. Thank you.
Actually, everybody join me in a final round of applause for all of our honorees. And, you're not done. And we look forward to hearing more, seeing more, understanding more about what happens. So it's been a great evening. Again, I want to thank all of you for joining us. There are refreshments and hors d'oeuvres outside, time to congratulate the honorees, and just really take some time to celebrate the school. My one last thing is I'm supposed to ask if you are a previous award recipient, alumni achievement or other awards, please stay here, and we're going to try to take a group photo. For all of the rest of you, we will meet you outside where I don't know if there's music, but certainly there's beverage and enjoy connecting with each other. So thank you.